Love and Life family, this is the Satrilrose, and today I actually just want to have a conversation with you guys, right? This is something that Spirit put on me to basically, have a conversation about. Again, as always, I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys, engaging with you guys in the comments. If you would like to reach me, as you all know, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, the Satrilrose, right? Again, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, the Satrilrose, right? If you guys would like to schedule a reading, I will put my business email and my website in the description. My cash tag is Satrilrose. Again, donations, readings, whatever the case may be, cash tag is Satrilrose. So as we all have, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., downloads or whatever the case may be, right? Something that I wanted to talk to you guys about is the things that are happening to me or for me in this reality are my own doing, right? I can't be upset. I can't be mad. I can't be angry at anybody and place blame on anybody for the things that are going on in my reality, right? I have to take full responsibility for the things that are happening in my life. Whatever that is, right? Finances, relationship, whatever that may be, right? I have to take full accountability and full responsibility for the things that are happening in this reality. Because the things that I'm seeing in my mind's eye are being manifested into my reality. The things that are the thoughts and the emotions that I'm feeling are manifesting into my reality. Like, we have to realize that we're manifesting consistently, both consciously and subconsciously, right? We're manifesting on a daily and nightly basis, right? So again, like I said, right? The things that are being created and the things that I am experiencing in my reality are the things that are created in my mind's eye, right? People call it the pineal gland, people call it the third eye, whatever the case may be, right? These are things that are being conjured up in my own mind. So I have to take full responsibility. I have to take full accountability for the things that are being, or the experiences, right? The better way to put it is the experiences. The good, the bad, the ugly. The experiences that I've been having, right, are being created before they even become physical things. So we're manifesting on such a vast scale, right? Because the mind is literally the most powerful weapon that we could ever have as man and woman, right? Even children, right? So on this vast scale, through mind power, we have to be very conscious of our thoughts, our emotions, the things that we say, and the things that we do. I have to be extremely cautious. This is why meditation is a practice. Mindfulness is a practice. Right? again, with the conflicts that I'm faced with, the problems or issues that I'm faced with, right? I have to take full responsibility of that. I have to be mindful of that, of the things that I say, the things that I do, my thoughts, both positive and negative. Both positive and negative, I have to be mindful of that and pay close attention to, because a lot of the times we get to a point to where we believe we're being spiritually attacked. No, you're not being spiritually attacked. You just aren't mindful of the things that you are thinking and saying and feeling, right? And as society, as a so-called human race, right, we have this thing that we call morale or morality, right? This concept that we believe in, it really doesn't exist. There's no such thing as good and bad, good or bad, right? They are one and the same. They are one and the same, right? What we do have, though, are choices and decisions. We have choices and decisions, meaning we consciously and subconsciously make certain choices, make certain decisions based off of a certain programming that you may have gone through or that you're currently going through, whether you're aware of it or not. We do have choices, right? So on the flip side of that coin, right? On the flip side of that, the experiences that you have that are quote unquote good experiences, you're responsible for that as well. You're responsible for that as well. What you believe to be as a so-called good experience, right? Quote unquote good experience, right? You're responsible for that as well. And that's also to be mindful of as well, right? And what we don't realize is that, and this is something that Bobby Hemmett talked about. This is something that Brother Panic, Rising Power to Brother Panic, we chose to have these experiences. We signed a soul contract to have said experiences, right? Especially those canon events, meaning those events that happen in your life that are the reason why you are the way that you are, the way you move, the way that you move, right? In middle school, where I'm gonna get personal with y'all, right? In middle school, I had an experience to where there were a few guys who I believed were my friends, we from Houston, man. That was my partner. You know what I'm talking about? Like that, like those guys, like we were cool, man. So one day I realized, like, okay, we're going to go play basketball, whatever. But then I realized there was a couple other guys behind us, right? These guys walked up to me, specifically to me, right? And these were guys that I've had to protect them from, So, and these were guys who constantly would pick fights, want to fight at school or whatever. But this particular day, we was outside of school. You know what I'm talking about? So anything goes, So playing basketball, we getting the game started. And I noticed that they kind of like stepped back. I'm like, what's going on? One guy called me out at, back in that time, during that time in Houston, slap boxing was a thing, right? So the dude called me out to slap box. I'm thinking that we about to actually slap box. I'm like, I'm not finna run from nothing, right? So we slap boxing, and he actually threw a punch. I'm like, okay, this is an actual fight at this point. This is an actual fight at this point, right? So once he threw the punch, and I'm like, okay, since we're doing that, I'm gonna ball my fist up and throw a punch myself, right? So I hit the guy, and he had like this weird ass stance. That's neither here nor there, right? So once I'm in it with him, another guy came, and another guy came, and another guy came. I got jumped that day. And walked out of it without a scratch on me. Walked out of it, always been protected, always been divinely protected, right? Ashe. And these guys were a little bit older than we were too. And I know that, I knew that my partners, they wasn't no fighters. They wasn't, you know what I'm saying? They was jokesters, you know what I'm saying? But push come to shove, I'm gonna protect myself, right? The point I'm trying to make is, it didn't dawn on me until years later, right? I didn't actually realize this until years later. As you get older, you start to pay attention to certain things in your past. My so-called friends actually set me up to get jumped. My so-called friends, right? They actually set me up to get jumped. So for a long time, I went on this rampage of, I don't need any friends. I don't need no partners. So I was a lone wolf for a long time. But through the years, I've met some amazing guys and actually created a bond with guys that I can call right now, because I had to realize that it wasn't the fact that I had friends. It was the fact that I wasn't selective. And that's a completely different conversation. That's a completely different video. But I wasn't selective, nor did I have the discernment for certain people to be in my life, right? All of that being said, the reason why I am, if anybody that knows me in my personal life, I'm very protective of my energy and the people around me. And I'm very selective and I'm very cautious, and I have the discernment and intuition to pretty much determine who can and cannot be around me. And because of that incident, because of that event, that experience that I chose to have, mind you, that I chose to have, it made me more vigilant. I grew my discernment based off of that, right? And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that, for those situations, because it wasn't just that one, it was others. And I'm grateful for those experiences. I'm beyond grateful to Spirit. And I'm grateful that I was able to have those experiences, because had I not had that, I would be naive, right? So to my point, right? There were lessons that needed to be had from said experience. There were lessons. So I signed a soul contract to have that experience and a plethora of other experiences. And I noticed what it was molding me to be mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And I'm still going, because I'm only 25. I'm going to have more experiences like those, right? And again, I can't blame anybody. I can't be mad at anybody, nor can I be upset at anybody and point the finger at anybody but self. But self. I chose to have that experience. So again, on the other side of that coin, right? On the other side of that coin, whether the experience, you considered it as a bad experience or a good experience, you signed a contract. You chose to have that experience. And on a conscious and subconscious level, you conjured that up in your mind's eye. You created that before it can even be created into your reality. There had to be a thought. There had to be a feeling that was manifested within self before that event even happened. So this message today is for you guys to be mindful, to be in a constant state of meditation, to be mindful and be in a constant state of meditation. Because meditation isn't just about sitting in the lotus position and chanting a mantra, whatever the case may be, right? Meditation can be done daily. And just be mindful of those thoughts. Be mindful of those feelings that you may have. Just practice that. And when you have a so-called bad experience, whether it's a traumatic experience or whatever the case may be, right? Look at that experience and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Why did I choose to go through this experience? What role do the people in my life play in this experience? That's the message. So again, guys, I just wanted to have that conversation with you guys. Again, I'm looking forward to really engaging with you guys in the comments. Feel free to DM me, ask me any questions. Again, if you would like to book a reading as well, my Instagram, TikTok, YouTube is the Satrilrose. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, the Satrilrose. I will put my website. It's still under construction. I'm still learning how to navigate with that. I will put it in the description. My cash tag is for donations or to book a reading, pay for a reading, is Satrilrose. Again, my cash tag is Satrilrose. Love and light. I love you all. Ashe.